students and his faculty members and his team. And it is the first time I have been virtually into a YB Chauhan College of Pharmacy. And as a graduate, I did my B Farm from Maharashtra, Amravati University, and it was S Institute of Pharmacy, Sudhakar Rao Naik Institute of Pharmacy. So
Yeah,
for
from
me,
Pusat.
all the hello.
From Pusat, sir.
Yeah, from Pusat, exactly, sir.
Yeah, that time
So,
Chaudhary sir might be there.
yeah, Chaudhary sir was there. So all the colleges in Maharashtra are very dear and near to my heart. So I like it feels like I am in my own place in my own graduation days. So as you can see, this beautiful IPR tree, it consists of patents, trademarks, copyrights, trade secrets, geographical indicators, designs, and then there are other miscellaneous things also. Okay. I'm Dr. Amrish Chandra, so I will be a patent agent. And when I was doing my graduation, I had this dream that I will be into some law field or something, but I never got an opportunity. So this opportunity I got in 2019 when the government of India conducted a patent agent examination, and then I appeared for it and qualified it. And so I found that it's very nice that a faculty member is a patent agent, so he can support, he can understand the faculty members more and the students more, and we can help them out. And recently, the next patent agent exam is due to be held on 6th and 7th of May this month, okay, in the month of May. So as an academician, I am passionate about helping each and every one of you to bring out your creativity to the world. And this is one of the famous things that we see. Amir Khan is Three Idiots movie everybody has seen, and we all appreciated the inventiveness, the novelty, the naughtiness of the character that was shown over there. And it was a representation of Sonam Wangchuk, who is in Ladakh and who has got a lot of patents and publications and everything. He's got a lot of innovations. He has transformed the life of people of Ladakh in a very, very major thing. If you just Google up ice stupa or siphon technique on Google, you will see what a marvelous concept ice stupa is. So what happens, Ladakh, as you know, it is a dry, cold desert. So what happens during when the summer sets in, all the ice is melted away and it flows down. And during the irrigation period, you don't have any water on the land. Okay? The entire thing, in the winter, everything is ice. And when the winter finishes, everything is converted into water and it just flows down rapidly down into the rivers and lakes. And there's no water for irrigation. So what he did, he brought the water from the mountains where before winter, made it sprinkle high up in the air, and when it came down, it formed a cone kind of a thing. So it was an ice stupa, and the science behind it was that ice stupa has got it's a cone. So at any time when the sun used to shine, only 1/3 of the cone is exposed to the sun, and so this ice used to melt very slowly, and this water was used for irrigation. Now just imagine what a wonderful concept with simple techniques of mathematics and imagination. So ideation is not like only professors can do, it's for everyone. You just need to be sensitive about the innovations. So when you think of, say, a leaf, so if you see a leaf, you can think of a solar panel, and you've studied in deep depth how the leaf functions, how the photosynthesis takes place, what are the various parameters. There's no doubt that you might be able to come up with a green solar panel someday, which does not utilizes all the semiconductor devices, but it uses something which is more natural. Okay, so in anything in the earth, you will find a lot of innovations and motivations to pursue that thing. Now, if you would have into villages, you would have seen this kind of a thing sticking to your pants, sweaters, and everything. And if you study this, if you evaluate this, how this can be converted into innovation. A scientist called as George D. Mestral, he studied it, and then he found that if nylon is treated with laser, it turns into hard fibers. And what he made out of it is known to the world as Velcro. And the applications of Velcro are innumerable. One of them is obviously our blood pressure monitoring instrument that we pharmacy people always use. So this is another example. Like if you have an alarm clock, is it final? You can still improve upon it, the design, the concept, and then you have a walking alarm clock. So अगर आपकी नींद इस अलार्म क्लॉक से नहीं खुलती है, तो ये अलार्म क्लॉक आपकी हेल्प करेगी. अगर आप की नींद जब अलार्म क्लॉक बजेगी, तो either it will start walking or it will start flying in the air, and then you have to catch it, hold it, and then stop the alarm. So that will be sufficient to open your eyes. So similarly, we can have more innovations in toothbrush. One of the innovations that pharmacy can combine with it. So you see, there is a person. He combined this syringe filled with toothpaste with a brush. You press the button of the toothbrush and the paste comes out. Okay. So what a wonderful invention, combining pharmacy and toothbrush together. So similarly, you can have, and then again, this is another invention. Why waste 3 minutes in brushing your teeth? You put this entire thing in your jaw, the upper teeth, lower teeth, gums, everything gets massaged in 30 seconds. Everything is clean. Okay. So another innovation. Just think of it and you can make it. Similarly, when it comes to washing machines and all, we did a lot of innovations. Now there are IoT controlled washing machines. You can control the washing machine right from your office. When it comes to pharmacy, you have done titration, but it's a very long and tedious process. Very need to be very careful to see when the color is changing. So why not develop an auto titrator? Okay. It will automatically put the things. There will be a spectroscope which will measure the color change. The moment the color is changed, the reading will automatically be recorded on the computer device. Another thing, why do the traditional heating on a heating plate for 24 hours, 48 hours, or 1 week or something? Why not use a microwave oven? A common experience, you heat it on the gas stove, it takes 10 minutes, 15 minutes. You heat it in the microwave, it takes hardly 30 seconds. Bring the same concept to pharmacy labs. Uh, put the thing in the microwave, put a condenser on top of the microwave outside, close it and heat it for 30 seconds, and you will get the results that you get in 2 hours of heating. Microscopes, this we already know, this we have seen. You can develop a screen. You can develop even an IoT based application where the image will be transferred to the mobile phone of yours and your professor. So the professor sitting in his chamber, he does not have time to come to your lab. He can directly see it on his mobile phone. Further, you can add image analysis. The moment you add image analysis, it will automatically be able to identify where is calcium oxalate, which cells are good, which cells are bad, how is the quality of the slide. Everything can be analyzed. You just have to combine the various things. When it comes to intellectual property, it's same as your traditional property. जैसे घर खरीदते हो, गाड़ी खरीदते हो, it is same. So when you decide that you have to buy a property, you will have to see कि आपको कहाँ खरीदना है. आप सर्च करते हो पहले, है ना, चारों तरफ सर्च करते हो कि कौन से एरिया में लेना चाहिए, सिटी के बीच में रहना चाहिए, सिटी के बाहर लेना चाहिए, नवी मुंबई में लेना चाहिए, पूना में लेना चाहिए, उसके बीच में लेना चाहिए. So you will find out the gaps. You will find out at which place the prospects of property cost rising or development is high. So similarly for patent also you have to see which is the crowded area for patent, which is a not touched area for the patent. If there is a not touched area for the patent which will develop in like say another 20 years, then that is not useful for you, because by the time in 20 years the area develops, your patent will be already be expiring. So in the middle you have to find out some place where you can actually go and file a patent. Okay. So and if you are able to identify that particular area gap, then that will have a huge commercial value also. So searching में क्या होता है, you will find a lot of junk, then you filter it, and then you will get the actual marbles out of it. Okay. So these are the few websites where you can do patent search. You can take a screenshot of this. Okay. So patentsgoogle.com is the easiest and the simplest one. It converts all patents in different languages into English. So it becomes easy for everyone to understand the things. So when you talk of patent, it has three concepts: novelty, inventiveness, and applicability. So now what is novelty? So if there is something which is absolutely new, not published, not told, not reported anywhere on this earth, then it is a new invention. And if the invention is not obvious to a person skilled in the art, so if there is someone who has made a gel, say by using one set of surfactants, okay, or one set of polymers, you are making the similar kind of a gel using a different set of polymers or different set of surfactants, then it is obvious that if one surfactant can be used, then other surfactant can also be used. So there is nothing inventive in it. But what difference does it make? But if you are providing a technical advancement, you say that this person used twins, I am using spans, and now this formulation is giving 10%, 20%, 50% more release, or it has become much cheaper. Then if you are able to prove any of the two things, then you will have inventiveness also in your invention. Okay. So novelty is established, inventiveness is established. Industrial applicability is not a much of a problem because anything that you make can be used in pharmaceutical industry, healthcare industry. So this clause is justifiable. The challenge comes in section 3, which says section 3D, which says that if you are just finding out a new form or you are just finding out a new property or a new use, then these things will not be patentable. Okay. However, if you are getting a new product, okay, so if you are having at least one new reactant, I close this. Okay. So if you are using a new reactant, in that case, you will be able to patent the thing. Or if you can prove that you have got higher efficacy, then you will be able to patent your invention. Section 3E says that if you're just mixing the things, it will not be a patentable. But again, if you are able to show better activity, then you can again go for a patent for this also. If there's something which is already known in the traditional thing, then it becomes difficult to patent. So most of the time, if you are working on a single herbal formulation, then it becomes difficult to get a patent on it. However, if you're working on a polyherbal formulation, it becomes a lot much easier to get a patent granted on it. So when it comes to patent, there are two ways in which you can file. One is provisional. You have the idea. आप सुबह उठते हो और आपको लगता है कि idea आता है, ठीक है? You see how it is to be worked out. You make a description of it. You say that this is the problem, this is the solution that this idea can provide, and you can file for a provisional application. Limit is that within 12 months, you have to show the complete working of the application. So if you have got an idea, you thought that this formulation can work in this disease, and you filed a provisional patent, say today, then you will have 12 months to file the complete provisional application, complete after provisional. Okay. Only then your invention will be protected, otherwise it will lapse. The other option is that you can wait, you can work in the laboratory, curate or collect all the data and all the information, and then file the complete application in one. So in order to file the application, the website is ipindia.nic.in, where you can file the application. It can be done both hard copy and online application. So if you're filing a hard copy, you will have to go to Mumbai office. And if you're filing an online application, it can be filed from your desktop or laptop. These are the various fees and forms which are required. So form 1 is mandatory. It is the application for grant of the patent. Provisional and complete specifications, whatever you file, that is form 2. There is no fees for it, but form 2 will go only with form 1. It will not go alone. Okay. Similarly, you have to file form 3 and form 5, again, which are mandatory. So for form 3, you have got 6 months to file. Form 5, you have got 1 month to file. So this will, once you file these forms 1 and 2 minimum, you will get a patent application number, but nothing will happen to it for 18 months. You will not see it on the website anywhere. It will just lie with the patent office in a secret mode. However, if you want the patent application to be brought to the public domain, you will have to file form 9. So this will, within 1 month of filing this particular form 9, your patent application will come in the public domain. That is called as early publication. Now, if you want to see whether your patent is grantable or not, whether it can be granted or not, then you have to file form 18. Okay. And if you hire the patent agent, then form 26 has to be filed. So this, if you hire a patent agent, they will do all the making the forms, fees, everything. They will take care of all the things. Now, this is how the application looks once it is filed. So it will just show that it is being filed and ready for application. You will not see anything more on the Government of India website. Once it is published, it will show awaiting request for examination. And this can show for up to 48 months. So up to 48 months, ya 4 saal tak, you have time period when you can file a request for examination. So once the request for examination is published, it will show like this. So this is the journal that comes. So this is the first page, and this is the page in which your application will be published. So this is what you get after you file form 1, 2, 3, 5, and 9. Okay. So publication is done within 18 months. And so once it is published, you will see all these details on the Government of India website with the government logo and everything. So everything you will be finding over here. So once you have filed request for examination, it will be saying if you are issued, filed, request for examination. Once you get the request for examination, this is how the FER will look like. You have to submit the reply to it in 6 months, and once they are satisfied with it, they will grant you the patent. And if they are not satisfied, they will call you for a online video conferencing to discuss your invention. So once you are able to explain them your invention, they will take the final decision on the grant. So this is how the patent grant certificate looks like in India. And once it is granted, all the various details will come on the portal, like the date of filing, the date of grant, and all those things. So this is a basic process when you start. So you have the invention, you reach out to the person, you decide whether you want to go ahead or not. So if the invention is not patentable, people will guide you what to do. If it is patentable, you have to do the filing, early publication, and finally you have to decide whether you want to go for early for request for examination or not. So if you decide for a request for examination, you have to pay the requisite fees, reply to the FPR and hearing things, and carry on further. So this is one of the patents. So negative camber tire adult tricycle. So this was one of the ladies who made a cycle, a tricycle for people who are affected by polio or other diseases. Okay, so that was one of the inventions. Another was a helix leukemia transport tube. So most of the time you must have seen when there are people who come for blood collection. Okay, they will use these fancy tubes with the yellow cap, red cap, blue cap, and all those things. Okay. So this particular invention, they developed a novel tube with a novel composition inside it, which could help in transporting the blood samples for a longer period of time. Okay, so that is what they achieved through this particular invention. Another patent was on phenoxybenzoyl methyl derivatives as antifungal agents. So they developed novel compounds which had antifungal activity, which was shown through in vitro experiments that they had achieved better results, and they got a patent filing on it. If you go for international patents, so this is how it will look like. Apart from patents, you have designs, copyrights, and trademarks also, which are very, very potential source of IPR. Okay. So have you ever thought that you can patent a car? Yes, so you cannot patent a car, but obviously you can register the design of a new car. Okay. Okay. You can register the design for a new smartwatch. You can design, you can patent, you can have this patent for a IPR of a new, say, dissolution apparatus, a new tray tire, a new clevenger apparatus, or a new Soxhlet apparatus, or a new test tube, or a new set of tongs that you're using, or test tube holder. Anything that you think in your lab, anything that you see in your lab, anything that you can touch with your hands in your lab, be it a bottle, test tube, burette, pipette, anything. And if you can think of modifications in that designs which can improve the efficacy or something, then you can go for the patent of a design also. The only thing in design is that you don't need to describe the technicality of the invention. So this watch, how it is working, what is inside the machine, you don't need to tell anything about it. How this machine will work, how the cycle will work, or what is the material with which the sofa set is made. You don't need to tell anything. If it is appealing to the eyes and if it looks new, you will get a design patent on it straight shot. Okay. The easiest, most effective way to get a IPR is done. And if there is any company which likes your design, which thinks that they are good, you can even commercialize them. You can sell them for a cost. This is for one article, like, but if you are making a set of articles like a crockery set, then that is called as a set. And if all of them have got the same design, you can actually go for design registration of the entire set. Okay. So this is sofa set, design set, jewelry sets, and all those things. So for design filing, you can do physical filing or you can do electronic filing. Physical filing you have to do in your area. So if you're from Maharashtra, you will have to go to Mumbai office. There you have to submit the form and they will do the digitalization, send it to the Kolkata office, and they will do the examination, registration, publication, and post registration. Electronic filing all over India, you can do it in one go through your computer systems. The fees for ordinary application is 1,000. If you a college or a startup is involved, or if a college or a large entity is involved, then you will have to pay 4,000. You will have to provide applicant's full name and address, nationality, legal status, address, under which class you want to patent that article. Okay, and if you have filed that patent invention anywhere else in the country, or outside the country, then you have to give a priority data. Okay. And you have to make 2 sets of representation sheets. So this is the perspective view of a kettle. Okay, and when you go, this is the design certificate. This is how it looks when it's published on the website, on the journal of patent journal, design journal basically. And the tenure of design is 10 years, and it can be extended by another 5 years by paying the renewal fees. And design can be anything. It could be a mobile phone, jewelry, accessories, camera, anything that you can see, anything that you can touch with your hands. You can say that, okay, yes, this is what I can design. Okay. And when you have a design, it gives you prevents others from unauthorizedly using your thing. You can legally exclude others from making an offering and selling your design, and you can legally combat them in any court of law. So when it comes to design filing, this is how the application has to be submitted. You need to have a perspective view, front view, back view, right, left, top, and bottom view. Okay. So, and there are various designers who can help you with this. Okay, so if anyone has got any ideas or anything, they can approach us, and we'll help them convert their ideas into this particular format of design. So, like if you have this grass chromatography, was one of the inventions that they made. They got it registered. This is a floor mopping device. Okay, so the person can sit, and or there are 3 panels where it can clean. An autoclave, so you change the design, you modify the things, and you can have a patent on that. A grass cutter, so this you have herbal gardens and all, and when you want to cut the grass over there, you can use such devices. So another nuclear magnetic NMR system you can patent. This is another certificate of UK grant certificate, where a person got an invention for topical gel formulation dispenser. So you can fill the gel from the top, from this hole, and there are 3 buttons, and when you press this button, the gel will come out from the nozzles, and you can apply it on the skin. Okay, so you don't have to keep it in tubes and other things. So this is a non-touch device, where you don't need to touch the skin surface to apply the gel or the ointment. When it comes to copyright, again, it's very fascinating. Anything that you write, even the notes that you write in a classroom while the teacher is dictating you, or when the teacher is explaining you, basically, those things can also be copyrighted. Even your thesis, your notes, or any article that you're writing, okay, or any blog that you are writing, all those things are covered under copyright. Even the photographs that you are taking of nature or anything, that can be copyrighted. Okay. So copyright is a bundle of rights, and it is an automatic right. The moment you create a thing, you will have a copyright on it. You don't need to register the copyright. Okay. But if you want to show the world that yes, you have this copyright, and you want to stop others, and you want to ascertain your rights, then you need to have a copyright. The thing is, for copyright is that the work should be original, and it should be fixed. Fixed means if you have a thought in your brain and you want a copyright on it, then you will not get it. You will get a copyright on it only when you convert it into a tangible form. You write it down, or you type it down on a paper or something, then only you will get a copyright. Okay. And there should be creativity. So creativity should be like, there should be some amount of creativity in it. Like, okay, so if you just write one word or one sentence into it, okay, so that if it is not sufficient to show the creativity, then you will not be able to get a copyright on it. So what we suggest is minimum there should be a content of 1 to 2 pages at least. Okay, a flow chart or some diagrams or something, so you can easily get a copyright on the work that you have done. So, so there are various provisions related to it. So the Act is Copyright Act 1957. Okay, and you have got various kinds of copyrights. So literary works, anything that you write down, anything that you draw, that is artistic work, dramatic work. So even if you're performing on a stage, that is a dramatic work, and you can get a copyright on it. You can get copyright for musical work, for sound recording, for cinema, cinematographic work, all these things. Okay. So copyright gives you 2 kind of rights. One is economic right, and other is moral right. So once you have copyright is registered, you can sell that copyright to anyone for a sum of money, or you can license them out. Okay. But even if you have sold the copyright to someone else, your moral rights don't expire. So if you are a person who has say sung a song, okay, and there's someone else who is you have licensed it out, so there's someone else who has used that song in their movie, but in the movie they will have to acknowledge that this particular song was written, played, or composed by such and such person. That is very important. So at the end of the movie, you will see a long list of casting. Na? So that is what moral rights constitute. So whenever you are using someone's work, okay, even if it is free, copyright free, if it is Creative Commons, whatever it is, most of the time you will have to oblige or mention the details of the person who has used it, who has made it. So there are reproduction rights, distribution rights, right to create derivative of the work. So derivative of the work means if there is someone who has written a work and then you get the right to make derivatives of it, or you can get the rights to change the content of it or modify that content. That is called as derivation. Right of communication to public, right to public performance. So even if there is a song which was sung by Lata Mangeshkar, okay, and Lata Mangeshkar is no more, but if you want to sing her song in public, okay, whether it is for money or without money, monetary benefits, you will have to take a permission from the copyright office or from the society to sing that particular song. Okay. The only place where you don't need to take permission is when you're playing music in marriage events. Okay, so in marriage, you see there are a lot of people will play music and everything. So in such events, you don't need to take permission. But other than that, in most of the cases, you need to take the permission. Okay. So the period of cinematographic film is 60 years from the date of publication. Broadcast right is 25 years. Performance right is 50 years. And if you have written any content, then the copyright tenure is the life of the author plus 60 years. Okay. So these are the forms that need to be filled for copyright. This is the fees for copyright. And this is how the copyright certificate actually looks like. So for example, there was a inventor who took a copyright on the study of phytochemicals cleaning up nootropic activity of root bark of Rhodocera. So they wrote a paper or content on it and they got a copyright on this particular thing. So this is how the procedure works. You file the application, it is done, formality checks are done. Okay. And after formality checks, there's a waiting period of 6 months, and then they go for scrutiny, and then they finally approve it and give you the certificate. So when you see the copyright, the most easiest is when there is a copyright symbol and you cross it. So that is in public domain, anyone can use it. But you will rarely find any content which is like this. Most of the time you will find copyright followed by BY. So BY means who has made this particular copyright, that person has to be acknowledged in the writing. Okay. Then you have copyright and you have to acknowledge the person, and you can share alike. SA is for share alike, but you have to share it under the same license agreement under which the person has sent. So suppose I make a content and I give it to public domain for non-commercial use. Okay, so you can use taking my content, but you are selling the web for a paid amount, then that is not allowed. Okay, and this says yes, you can put my name. You have to share the credentials who has made it, but you will never going to commercialize it. Okay, and this says that you have to acknowledge me, acknowledge the author. It is for non-commercial use, and you have to share alike. And when you have this is equal to sign over here, it means that you cannot make derivatives of my work. You cannot change or modify my work. Okay, so this is how the thing goes. And if you put the simple copyright symbol, it means that you have got all the rights. You don't need to mention any of these things. It means that you have bluntly covered everything. Each and everything has been covered. Okay, you don't have any rights to use anything. You have to take permission from me. So when it comes to trademarks, trademark is any word, symbol, or a device. Okay. So can you give example of a trademark? So trademarks could be like MacD's thing, McDonald's, what's Adidas, Google, Naukri.com, Coca-Cola. So all these are trademarks. So these trademarks can be a symbol, a logo, or it can be a word mark also. So simply, so if you say Google, so Google is written in this particular fashion with this font type. But if you write Google in some other font, some other design, is it possible that you can get a trademark on it? No, because when Google filed for a trademark, they will get the word mark also. Word marks means the word Google cannot be used in any font, any combination, anything, because Google is not a dictionary word. Okay, so they got a trademark on this particular thing. Okay. For a trademark, the trademark should be inherent and it should be acquired. It should be distinctive, basically. So you cannot use Apple as a trademark to protect your vegetable shop name. Okay. But you can use Apple to protect a laptop brand or an electronic device brand. Okay, because Apple is a very common thing that is used in vegetable market, but it's a not a very common thing in electronic goods. Okay, so that is how the trademarks work, basically. So you must have seen these two symbols, TM and R. So TM is trademark and R is put only when it has been registered. If it is pending, not registered, application is pending, whatever it is, then you can put this TM symbol. Okay. So trademark, again, it's an option. You don't need to go and register a trademark, but if you have registered a trademark, you can renew it for lifelong. Okay, so it is indefinite. You can keep renewing it for n number of years in blocks of 10 years period. And this in this example, you see Bisleri is written in so many different ways. The first one is fake, the second one is fake, and the fourth one is also fake. The only correct one is the third one. Okay. And then there is something called as geographical indicators also. So you must have seen Kolhapuri chappals, Banarsi sari, Mysore silk, Darjeeling tea. So these are particular things. Now say, what is Kolhapuri chappal? Is it that it's made only in Kolhapur, or like anyone else can also make Kolhapuri chappal? No, it is the skill in the hands of the people of Kolhapur who are making this particular thing, which is giving that particular item a distinctiveness. Okay. So when you say Darjeeling tea or Nilgiri tea, what does it mean? It is a geographical area, the climate, the soil, the skills of the people who are making that particular tea in such a manner that that particular product is having its own fragrance and taste and everything. So when such an item comes out from the nature or from a geographical region, we call it as geographical indicators and we give it a brand name. Like you have Swiss watch, Scotch whiskey. So these are multi-country brands and they are selling like anything. So people will go and buy Swiss watches for 5 lakh rupees, 10 lakh rupees, just because it is a Swiss watch. Okay. So similarly, India is building its own brand, own identity, and all those things. So these are common examples: Darjeeling tea, Makrana marbles, Kanchipuram silk, Ratlam save. So these are all very famous things. Okay. So you have Rajasthan and different people will have different kind of arts. Okay. So similarly comes in fruits also. Okay. Cook mango and you say Nagpur orange. Okay. So again, these are geographical indicators. So Nagpur orange is the geographical indicator. Okay. So IPR is not about all those things. You have a lot of career opportunities also in IPR. You can go for a government job. You can become an examiner of patents and designs. So you'll be a government employee. In fact, a gazetted officer also. You can become examiner of trademarks and geographical indicators. You can become an examiner of copyrights. Other options will include you can in private you can become a patent agent, you can become a trademark agent, you can become a JRF or SRF in patent facilitation centers. So there are various centers who will help you in filing your patents and everything. And then you have patent litigation and other opportunities in private sector. So if you combine your graduation or post graduation with the LLB degree, you will be able to stand in the court of law and litigate for or against various clients for your clients. Okay. So here is a quick quiz. You just try to find out a few trademarks in this particular box and try to just put your comments in the chat box or question box.
So where you have to write?
So you can write in the question box or the chat box. So with me, I have my co-host Mansi Gaur today with me. Mansi, are you there?
So there are prizes for those who are having maximum trademarks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mansi Gaur, are you there? Okay. So these are a few of the things. So we have a lot of people on YouTube also. So Umar has given Tata, Pepsi, Pepsi Dettol. Okay. Uh, Shelly Rajput. Okay. Arti Ambo. So very nice. Good to do. So just see if you have missed out something. So there are a few new things like Kabul, and so these you might not be knowing, but okay. So find the IP. This is a patent. This is a painting of Mona Lisa. What kind of a IP does this painting have? Will it have a patent, a copyright, a design, or a trademark, or a geographical indication?
Yes.
So again, those who are on YouTube, they can put it on YouTube. So the painting will have a copyright. The sculpture can have a design, and the third one, it will have a design patent, and the Apple can logo can have a trademark. Again, in the fourth distillery, it will have a word mark. Okay, that is a trademark. And in the fifth category, the Coca-Cola bottle, it will have a design. The design of the bottle will go for design. The brand name Coca-Cola will go for the trademark. Okay, so there are various trademarks, and it's not like that one product will have just one IPR. One product can have multiple IPRs. Okay, and the reading material that you get when you buy a Apple phone or a tablet or a laptop, that written material is a copyright material. Okay, so you have copyright also on those things. Okay. So these are a few questions, again a repetition of what we did. So which of these is a geographical indication? BMW car, Nagpur orange, ironing machine with steam, PlayStation, or a www World Wide Web, that's internet. Okay. So which of this is a geographical indication? So Araj is saying, Rahul Yadav is saying College of Pharmacy, Aurangabad. Rahul Yadav, thank you. Abbaj is saying Nagpur Orange. Okay. Yes, you are correct. Kirti Deshpande is also saying Nagpur Orange. Shali Rajput is saying Nagpur Orange. So everybody is correct. Very nice. So what does a trademark protect? It does a trademark protect an invention, a work of art, logos, names, brand, or a secret formula? Yes, so Tejas Avare is saying logo. Yes. Yes, so the logos, brands are protected by the trademark. And how long does a patent last? Yeah, so the time period is 20 years. And one more thing that I would tell you is that it is 20 years, absolutely right. And it is 20 years from the date of filing. So don't wait for the patent to be granted in order to start commercializing and exploiting the things. The 20-year period starts from the date of your filing. So if you write an original story, what type of intellectual property gives you the right to decide who can make and sell copies of your work? You've written a story, so you will go for copyright, geographical indicators, that is GI, patent, design, or trademark. Yes, so we got a reply from Tejas, Seema, Pooja Shishti, Shivkant, Shivani, Amar Khan, Madhuri, Akshata Rawat, Shobh, Yash, Arbaz, Ashish, Prashant, Pratiksha, Shaili Rajput, Shajid, Afreen. So all the students are right. So it is the copyright that will give you the right on your story or your content. So imagine a cricketer sets up his own company to sell his own range of clothes. Okay, so there are various things, like you have Hrithik Roshan brand and all those things. Okay. So what type of intellectual property can he use to show that the clothes are made by his company? Will he go for a copyright, a GI, patent, design, or a trademark? So again, we have replies from Tejas. Pooja, Manal, Harbaz, Akshata, Chali, Adish, Kirti. So a lot of said trademarks, and trademarks is correct. Few have said designs and copyright, obviously. But the question was saying that how can he show that the clothes are made by his company? Okay. So in order to protect his company, he will have to go for a trademark. The design of the clothes, the accessories, and other things can be protected under design. So the design of a sherwani or a kurta, lehenga, whatever it is, that can come under design. Okay. But for other things, for his company, it will be trademark. So if a company develops a new technology that improves its main product, what type of intellectual property can they use to stop others from copying their invention? The company has developed a new technology. Okay. So will that come under copyright, GI, patent, design, or trademark? So we have getting some right answers. Khan, Tejas, Amar Khan, Shivani, Sajid. So yes, so it is patents that is going to be used in this particular case. Let's give out these questions. Okay. And so basic points to remember is first protect, then publish. So the ideal rule is that first you file for a patent, be it a provisional one. Provisional होगा तो भी चलेगा, और publish के बाद फिर publish कर लो, है ना, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, ठीक है. publish करने के बाद भी there is a time period of 1 year when you can file for a patent. Okay, but it's not recommended that you use this route. Try to first file a patent and then go for a publication. And all the rights of patent are territorial, so there is nothing called as world patent or global patent. Okay, so all the rights are protected by the government of India. And for some IPRs, appointing a patent agent is not compulsory to file a patent, but if you have him, things become much easier. So validity of a patent is 20 years. For design, it is 10 years plus 5 years. For trademark, the validity is infinite, so you can keep renewing it every year. You have to use that trademark. You cannot just register the trademark and keep it. So again, this is a very common practice that a lot of people do. They will go to foreign countries, see which brands are there, come back and get a trademark on those brands. Okay, and when after a few years they will those companies will want to come to India, they will have to get the trademark from you. Okay, so GI indications, copyrights. Okay, so copyright is life of author plus 60 years. And who can file these things? Any person or individual can file. For GI, there needs to be an association which is going to file the GI application. Okay. Otherwise, any person, or a person means it could be you, your company, your firm, your university, or your corporate. Anybody can be the person. So I hope I could help you understand something about IP rights, understand what is patentable, and plan your research considering the prior art. So prior art search is again very, very important. You have to master this particular art. Spend some time on those 3 links that I shared with you. And whenever you need any kind of support, you can contact me. Just scan the QR code next to it with any of the applications, Paytm or anything, and you can save the contact details. Okay. So curiosity is the mother of inventions, mother of invention. So when you are curious, you will come up with questions, and the solution to those questions will lead to inventions. Okay. So I welcome all of you to ask questions. You can ask it on.
Sir, they are asking for today's session video.
So as by default, all those who have attended the event will get the link on their mails. Okay. So all those who have registered will get the link on their email IDs with which they have registered.
So any question and answer you can put in question and answer.